Hello and welcome to another update video about PYTH. Yeah, the PYTH chart looks a bit sad at the moment. Obviously, the accelerated 1-2-1-2 setup that we discussed here in the yellow scenario, well, that's still technically valid. But I already mentioned, I think in the last video, that I assume it will get invalidated. It's still alive, you know, and it is this scenario in which we say, okay, we have here the move from the January low to the February high. That was a 5-wave move, would be possible, and then this was a shallow 2, and then this, yeah, from looking at the pure length of this move from the March low to the March high, I mean, that could be another wave 1. It's also a possible 5-wave move to the upside. However, the decline afterwards looks more like a 5-wave move, and okay, not only that, but it's also very, very protracted, very extended compared to what the wave 1 to the upside would be here in yellow. So yeah, a 1-2-1-2 setup is technically possible, but is it realistic, or is it, let's say, likely? I would challenge that. And for me, therefore, I highlighted already in the last updates, I assume it will get invalidated. And I'm rather following here a large 1-2 setup, okay? Just sort of this large 1-2 setup, I find that a little bit more, let's say, realistic, and it looks better. The concept of the right look is also very important in Elliott wave. The concept of the right look, that means the proportions, you know, need to be there basically, and we basically need to look at a chart, and it just needs to have the right look. You know, the wave 2 needs to have a certain, let's say, proportion to wave 1. It's not a must, okay? It's only, let's say, a guideline. But still, it still looks a bit sad, okay, this pullback. And not only that, I mean, it's more like this double bottom and no real reaction here, even though Bitcoin is performing a little bit, you know, there's not really any reaction to that support area. The support area is currently defined between 50 cents and 31.3 cents. Is between the 50% retracement and the 78.6 retracement of the entire increase. Even though we have two scenarios here on the chart, the 1-2-1-2 setup, which is questionable, or a large 1-2. I prefer to show only the main support area for the large 1-2 setup, because that's my primary count. That's the one that I think it's more realistic, at least. We still need to see if the bulls can hold above support, but yeah, at the moment there's just not enough evidence. So the next support levels are between 41.5 cents and 31.3, because the 50-cent level was already tested, and the double bottom doesn't make it more reliable, okay? So a double bottom typically is not a great reversal pattern. Now, it did make a marginally lower low, okay? It did make a marginally lower low. So it's possible that the low is in, but it would need to prove it now with a 1-2 setup, and there's just simply nothing there, okay? There's just simply nothing there, and I need to see a first 5-wave increase followed by a 3-wave pullback to confirm it. It's done all the necessary downward waves that, well, we need to see really to call that move completed. Hasn't reached the ideal level. Okay, so obviously we have a number of waves, and in the C wave here to the downside, we want to see 5, and it's possible with that those are 5 waves with that latest low. Not very reliable, because it's just a marginally lower low and basically a double bottom, but it formed a lower low. Didn't reach that 61.8 extension. That would have been ideal, because that's when you measure the length of the downward waves 1 to 3, and you compare that with the length of the wave 5. It's often the case that the wave 5 reaches the 61.8 extension. Is it a must? No. It's essentially all probabilities, and bear in mind we're already dealing with smallest timeframes on altcoin charts, so precision sometimes is lacking just because how volatile they are, and because they are to a degree tied to Bitcoin. Okay, so there are certain correlations, of course. So what does it mean for us? It takes now 5 waves up. It's currently only a corrective rally, so I cannot confirm that the low is in. I think we still need to prepare at least for further downside. It's not a prediction. It just means that downside is, I cannot confirm a low. That's it. Needs to prove it. And first resistance that needs to be taken out is 60.8 cents, this last swing high. And then the wave 4 high will be relevant as well at 71.5 cents. That's really critical. That needs to be taken out next. But yeah, there are plenty of possible options here. Essentially what it means, we now need to watch the, so basically it boils down to a bounce from this area is likely even from here or maybe after another low. And then we just need to watch the next upside structure. If a 5-wave increase is forming, then this could be a wave 1 of the larger third wave. And that larger third wave should, let me double check that. Yeah, it should take us to $2.30, $2.80, sort of in that region. So it's good reward to risk ratio from here, but I cannot confirm yet a low in place. That's my update about PYTH. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit a like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.